Massachusetts against Jesse Ferguson from Knightdale, North Carolina. 10 rounds in the heavyweight division.
Boxing under the rules of the New York State Athletic Commission. I expect a clean fight. Obey my commands at all times. Protect yourself at all times. Shake hands, come out boxing at the bell. Good luck.
So there you are. Referee's instructions completed. And that is it. I mean, I don't honestly think that Jesse Ferguson is 6'6" tall. Do you? It's a first if he is. So, Jesse Ferguson then against Bob Harris. Harris in the black trunks. Now, let's talk about Jesse Ferguson, shall we? He's lost his last 6, 3 by way of the TKO, and his last win came 3 years ago. And he beat Rocky Fapelli in 9 rounds. We brought you that on Eurosport. And of course, prior to that, he was beaten in 2 by Riddick Bowe. And then, of course, came one of 2 big wins on the Ferguson record to beat Ray Mercer. Also lost to Mercer in the rematch, but on that occasion, when he beat Mercer, Mercer was allegedly taken to court for offering Ferguson a bribe towards the end of the fight when Mercer realised he wasn't going to win if Ferguson kept trying so hard, so he bribed Ferguson apparently to not try quite so hard. Of course, Jesse took no notice and went up and picked up one of his biggest wins. He's been beaten by Tony Tubbs, Mike Dokes, Bruce Selden, Oliver McCall, Orlin Norris, Anders Eklund, James Bone Crusher Smith, Mike Tyson. Tyson struck him in 6, by the way, 10 years ago. And then we go way back now to 1985 to find probably the best ever win for Ferguson on points over 10 rounds against Buster Douglas, the man who, of course, burst the Tyson bubble. So that then is Jesse Ferguson. Last fight was an 8th round stoppage loss at the hands of Daniel Nicholson, ex-Olympian of course. He's also been beaten, by the way, in the last couple of years by Frank Bruno, Larry Holmes, Jeremy Williams, Alex Stewart and the like. Bob Harris, on the other hand, well, he's unbeaten in 18. What a contrast, 12 wins inside the limit. And 3 names you may know on the record of Bob Harris. Will Hinton was beaten on points over 10, over 6 I should say. But a couple of absolute regular losers, Stanley Wright and Brian Sargent, both beaten by Bob Harris in his last 3 fights. So nothing augurs too well for Harris here. Even the half-respectable journeyman status of Jesse Ferguson should scare the life out of Bob Harris, who's making a massive step up in class, really. And, you know, it's quite something to say he's making a huge step up in class when the man he's facing has lost his last 6 fights. But I think you know what I mean. Anyway, let's just sit back and enjoy it. So Ferguson takes the opener. Such a replay here from that opening round in real time. Apparently Bob Harris's father used to box. I'm not sure if he was a professional. And Harris had a very respectable amateur career, winning 120 fights. Apparently lost 12 times and was a 4-time national champion, as well as a substitute for the Olympic team in '92. For the year he became the National Heavyweight Golden Gloves champion. So some very respectable form there on the record of Harris as an amateur. He reckons he's pretty quick and he's got a lightning left jab. His main drawback though is I'm afraid New England has not got a reputation of producing world-class heavyweights. Referee for this one, Wayne Kelly, I think. And let me just remind you about the independent world boxing rankings for this event. They've actually got Ferguson in at 104, and simply because of his unbeaten record, Bob Harris features at number 61. Good right then from Ferguson, and Harris hanging on. Couple of nice jabs then, right cross from Harris. Not doing too badly here in round 2. And as you can already see, Harris has got a big problem. He doesn't like taking punches. Well, I'm not too sure that Harris didn't actually work on level terms with Ferguson there in round 2. Let's give him a share of the round anyway. That's a nice right hand from Ferguson. Just stopped in his tracks and threw that. And Harris didn't like it. That was a return from Harris as we come into round 3. Bob Harris then needing to use what skills he may think he has to try and keep Ferguson off. Nice left hook there from Jesse. Ferguson's record, by the way, 20 wins, 16 losses, 14 knockouts to his credit. Seven of Ferguson's 16 losses have all come inside the limit. But he's taken men like Bone Crusher Smith a full 10 rounds. Anders Ekland, he took 8. Orlin Norris, he took to a points decision, as he did Oliver McCall. You know, not too many people chin him. Larry Holmes had to go 10. I was about to say a half-decent effort by Harris, and suddenly a couple of thumping punches from Ferguson get him on his bike. And again, big punches there. Well, I'm really reluctant to say they're big punches because Ferguson is not known as a big banger. But his punches are showing here against Harris. goodness me, and Harris in big trouble now. On his back here in round 3. And I can't remember the last time that Jesse Ferguson put an opponent on the floor. Well, the mandatory 8 count there. How do you feel? I feel rotten. Thinks Harris, doesn't say it. Bell's coming up. So he survives. That's a 10-8 round though for Jesse Ferguson. What's that again?
Are you inside?
Yes, he was in severe trouble, wasn't he? Round 4. Ferguson in the white. Can he find the punches to knock out Bob Harris? It's not too hard to see in the midst of time how Harris was probably, as his record suggests, a good amateur, but he hasn't made the transition. And again, Ferguson whacks into the floor. Goodness me, what is going on here? Harris, 24 years of age, and he's getting battered. Ferguson, a professional for 13 years, 10 years longer than Harris has been in the ring. Oh, and again Ferguson. Well, he's in severe danger of stopping Harris here. And don't forget, a knockdown round, if you win the round as well as putting your man on the floor, it's worth 2 points. Let your hands go, Jesse. Here's a shout from the corner. Well, Harris now trying to keep those gloves very high. And of course, you need a world-class chin in this game. If you're fit, with a good chin and reasonable skills, you could probably stand a chance against most, but I'm afraid Bob Harris has no chin whatsoever. When he gets hit, the first 2 rows get showered in glass. And again, Ferguson rocks over the right. Again, Ferguson, they're looking $1 million here against this man.
Step back.
There's some blood somewhere. I think it's on Ferguson's face. Well, the end of round 4, and that's a 10-8 round for Ferguson. Lots of flapping from Harris, but nothing much else. 4, and I'm afraid poor old Bob Harris getting a bit of a thrashing. There is a bit of damage on Jesse Ferguson's face. Often, of course, hard to tell with black fighters. You need a good look. So round 5, and I've got Ferguson 5 points in front with 4 rounds gone. Yes, Ferguson there got a cut on the left eye. the best spell so far that Bob Harris has had, and if only he can avoid getting hit. Well, obviously the corner, I've said things to inspire Harris. Here's a much better round this for Harris. Oops, a daisy, suddenly uppercut left hook from Ferguson.
Step back.
It's always the worry, isn't it? Harris going to get tagged, get hurt. Well, it doesn't worry me, but I'm sure it worries his handlers and, of course, his supporters. It's quite alarming, in fact, but he's actually boxing very, very well, and punches don't come back. Suddenly, Ferguson threatens to break him in half with body punches. This is better now from Harris, showing his mettle. Ooh. And you can almost feel him coming, can't you? And every time he lands, poor old Harris goes to pieces. 10 to go. Slightly generous and give round 5 to Bob Harris. Watch this again, the right over the top there. So 5 rounds gone, 5 to go. There's Bobby Harris. Just let me remind you, he's from Worcester, Massachusetts, unbeaten in 18 pro fights. 12 wins inside the distance, but well, he's bitten off quite a lot here in the shape of Jesse Ferguson, a man who's not won in his last 6 fights, going back 3 years, and significantly been stopped in 3 of the 6. His last win came in the early summer of 1993, but he's got a 4-point lead, in my opinion, over this man. No doubt, Bob Harris, a smart boxer, and at his level, he's obviously a reasonably powerful man, having stopped 12 men, but he's never fought a Ferguson before. You've really got to be able to take a punch in this business. Ferguson has proved time and time again that he can. And in one fight, Bob Harris has proved he can't. And this is a terrible stain, really, for Harris. It's one he won't get rid of. You know, Ferguson is essentially a non-puncher, and the whole of the boxing world will take notice of how poorly Harris has stood up to his punches. Anyway, enough of that. Let's get on with this. Once again, Harris rocked then, tries to stay close, cut down the leverage gap that Ferguson's looking for. uppercut makes Harris hang on. Referee Wayne Kelly, they're just looking at that cut left eye of Ferguson. Oh, goodness. Goodness. Harris on the floor twice already. Yes, on the floor in rounds 3 and 4. I might go over again before this one's finished. Not doing badly there, though. Well, that looked like a pretty level round. Hard to pick against Harris anyway.
He's fucking fine. Get the doctor.
You're not rolling this up.
I want to look at him.
Stop! There's nothing wrong. The guy's holding on his fucking head.
So, here we go then for round 7. And a bit of animated corner work there, I'm sure you heard that. So Bob Harris then in the black trunks, in my opinion, has got to win this last 4 rounds to get a draw. 4 points behind, 4 rounds left. Can he do it? Watch this space. Probably a much more sensible idea for Harris now. Pop and move. Just make sure you don't get hit. And there's then a state of apoplexy in the Harris corner. Goodness me. Harris took a mighty right then, and he's in trouble again. Screams coming all in Harris's direction from his corner. Well, he tried to do the right thing, didn't he, in this 7th round, but got bashed big time. Oh, and again. And poor old Bob Harris, goodness me, he's got a crystal chin. Here he goes. And if Kelly stopped it, I don't think I complain. Don't forget, when Ferguson beat Rocky Papelli, it was on cuts, and his corner withdrew him, really. Oh, goodness me. And poor old Bob Harris. I'm sure Bob Harris, the former, or the old grey whistle test presenter, he probably takes a shot better than this Bob Harris does. As once again, Ferguson wins a round. Oh, that's the right. 3 rounds to go then, this is round 8. And there's water all over the place. And folks, they're just pointing out a problem with the right glove. Bob Harris, a bit of tape has come undone. I wish to labour a point, of course, but you know, the fact that Harris is so fragile is such a major factor in this fight. It's difficult to get away from. So I hope I'm not labouring it. You know, you've all seen Ferguson over the years. You've seen what he's capable of or read about him. You know, he's a genuine loser. You know, there's no doubt about that. When you think in the last 10 years, Ferguson has only won 7 fights. You know, it's really quite something. And of course, the rot set in for Ferguson when he was beaten by Carl the Truth Williams, stopped in 10 rounds. Back in 85. Past halfway here in the 8th, and still, poor old Bob Harris getting hit and hurt. Have to go back a few years to find the last time that Ferguson, goodness me, look, once again, Ferguson was in this kind of position, i.e. on the verge of winning. Well, the success now for Harris has become increasingly sporadic. I think he'll just be happy to get through this. A close look there at Ferguson's eye by the referee. Both eyes are cut as we come to the end of round 8. Long past the point where he needs a knockout to win. And once again, Harris in big difficulties. And referee Kelly can barely prise them apart. And I think that's a big shame that Harris is so fragile, because he is quite nice to watch, providing he doesn't get hit. Ferguson still looking for a knockout right hand. Might find it yet. Well, that's the last thing he needs. Wayne Kelly there saying, if I have to tell you once more about leaning on, I'll take a point off you. once again, a good spell for Ferguson. He's never had things like this in his life. It's his birthday and Christmas all rolled into one. Difficult to pick between them really in this round, isn't it? I might even give to Harris. Why not? He's had a good spell most of the round. So, 5 points in the lead still for me, Ferguson, over Bob Harris. 1 round to survive and pick up a much needed and very rare win. So Bob Harris, for the first time in 19 professional fights, is going to lose, no doubt about that. The names might be inauspicious, but I think you'll agree it's been a pretty fair fight to watch, this one. Halfway now in the 10th and final round. Big right again from Jesse Ferguson. But once again, it's been around. It looks like Ferguson's quite happy to coast it, giving Bob Harris a chance to pick up a session and make things just a wee bit closer. Whoops, a daisy, what happened there? Well, Harris says he slipped. Well, that one wasn't a slip at all. And the times we've seen Ferguson wail away at world-class opponents with absolutely no effect at all. Of course, Harris's problem is you can't build muscles on the chin. So it's all over now, a miserable night's work surely for Bob Harris. Well, the crowd enjoyed the fight and I enjoyed the fight, but we're looking surely at the loser. Bob Harris, the first time in 19 fights. That's got to be the end of his unbeaten record.
Here at the Huntington Hilton, we go to the scorecards. Judge George Colon scores it 97-91. Judge Joe Dwyer scores it 96-94. Judge Chick Hill scores it 95-94. For the winner by unanimous decision, Jesse.
So Ferguson then declared the winner. Those scores far too close for me. And you can see how elated he is. That's the first time in 3 years he's won a fight. Well, that's it. I hope you've enjoyed it. I have. And don't forget, Saturday night, we've got a special for you. You can watch Wilfredo Benitez put his WBC welterweight title on the line against Sugar Ray Leonard. Don't miss it. Thanks for joining us.